Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing okay. I wanted to make this video today because I have pretty much all day to do nothing, so I thought I'd do the video that I was planning on doing tomorrow for today, because tomorrow I'm somewhat busy compared to what I'm usually like, so why not make this video while I have time. So this video is going to be a bit different from the usual content that I'm used to doing. And it's going to be a video that I know that a lot of people won't be bothered about on this channel or in general, but I care about it, so I'm going to make the video because I'm almost annoyed by it. And that is with Disney. I've expressed before that in my experience, LGBT people tend to be more fans of Disney than regular straight adults, even though obviously straight adults do love them as well, but overall the demographic of Disney is either kids or LGBT community orientated. So this video is going to be about Disney and basically my frustration with how people perceive Cinderella and the myths and the things that they get really wrong about her. So I'm going to talk about that today. While I'm talking about Disney, I actually watched Anastasia for the first time yesterday and I really enjoyed it. I think it was made the year I was born, which was 1997. Either that or the year after. So, you know, it's my age. And I love the storyline of it. And something that I've always liked about Disney is the particle or fairy dust effect that they have, basically where something is shimmering, whether it's the clothes or something in the background. Like Cinderella's dress has it, the blue fairy from Pinocchio, her dress has it. Obviously in Peter Pan, the reason why it's called pixie dust is because they kind of copied that from Peter Pan, even though they had that effect before. So with, obviously, Tinkerbell, she had that effect. Basically anything with sparkle and bit of pizzazz, I've always liked. And Anastasia has a lot of the sparkle effect on it, so my eyes were proper like, ooh, I'm intrigued now, because I've always liked that. Like I say about Disney. So if you're a fan of like the clothes or the background being sparkly in Disney, I would recommend Anastasia because the singing's good, the storyline's good, and like I say, the particle effectness is pretty much everywhere in the film, which I love. Anyway, back to Cinderella. So Cinderella and Mulan were always my two favourite Disney princesses. Half of it for different reasons, half of it from the same reason. The same reason is because I find that they both got really powerful voices. The voice of Mulan was a Broadway singer called Leah Salonga, and she's been in many things. Like, she was also the singing voice for Jasmine in Aladdin, and she was in Miss Saigon, the play version of West Side Story. So she's been in quite a lot of famous things. And the voice of Cinderella was a jazz singer that was going around in, I think it was round about the same time as Cinderella, known as Eileen Woods. So she had a very jazzy, bluesy vibes to her voice. And I find their voices to be very, very strong. But Eileen Woods is more, obviously, because it's from 1950, Cinderella is. So her voice isn't as belty, because that wasn't really a thing back then. It was just more free-flowing, but still long-lasting. And the reason why I like them and why it's like different reasons. With Mulan, I liked the message of you should do the opposite of what culture tells you to do if that's not how you naturally are within your personality, and also that you should listen to your heart instead of your mind. I feel like I do that most of the time in my life. You know, I'm not perfect, but that's pretty much like my statement in life that you should follow your heart, not your head. And, um, yeah. And then with Cinderella, I always liked her backstory. Basically, how she was in an abusive family, and her name is Cinderella because her real name in the original story of Cinderella was called Ella, but she was called Cinderella because she slept in the room in the cinders, which was the fireplace. So she was that mistreated that she had to go sleep in a room that was always dusty and dirty where the cinders were. So I always like the story of someone who goes through that and then gets a happy ending. But it's not the happy ending that people think it is, and that is why I'm making this video. So from pop culture, even from movies that people sing about when they reference Cinderella, and just people that probably haven't watched it since they were 10, when they hear what people say it is now, but they will probably be the same. The general consensus with that is, and Cinderella, is that she got saved by her prince, and basically she lived happily ever after. They met once, and then she basically got saved by a man, which is not true, and that's what I want to talk about. I feel like a lot of the people that also say this and basically hate on Cinderella are people that are in the feminist movement. So a lot of radical feminists, not normal old classic feminism, but radical modern feminism of today, is very much blame anyone who thinks in traditional gender roles and people that like that overall, and people and women who like that as their life. Yeah. Sorry, I blanked there for a minute. I meant to say, but I blanked, that also the people in the feminist media want all women to be strong and women to take charge when they don't think about the significance that feminism has changed over the decades. And at the time of Cinderella, like I say, Cinderella in Disney was made in 1950. And the only thing really that was proper known as feminism was the suffragettes, I would say. But I haven't done like proper research into it or whatnot. But I would say the one thing that is like a thing that we are taught in society when it comes to feminism back then was the suffragettes. And then things started to move probably in like the 80s, at least what I was told. So the people who hate on Cinderella are either the people that just haven't watched it in a while and just go through the stereotypes that is wrong, or people that hate basically women who need men to save them, and they go on this big rant about how women don't need to be saved, and they don't think about the time from when Cinderella was made and written. And if you heard me a minute ago, I said these stereotypes are wrong, and I'm going to explain why these stereotypes are wrong. Cinderella was never rescued by a prince. She found happiness and she escaped an abusive family situation within a time that you couldn't escape it from unless you got married. So she technically didn't fall in love unless some people, say that she did because of that song, So This Is Love. But she never really fell in love until she saw the guy that danced with her. And love can mean many things. It can mean someone showed me kindness. And to me, showing someone kindness is a form of love. So I internalized that at first, in the first part when they sing it, This Is Love. I think that she's talking about how someone's finally giving me attention that is good and not abusing me. And then at the end of the song, before they kiss, then they fall in love. But if you actually listen to that scene, kind of just before they kiss and the clock strikes 12, she has to go, obviously, because the spell's going to be broken and she's going to be in ruffles again. She actually says, "Oh, I have to go because I haven't seen the prince." So she didn't even know who he was. That is how unbelievably wrong these people are, because she never wanted to see the prince. She just wanted love. And it also comes from a form of basically this thing that people do when they blame the victim of anything, of any kind of abuse, and they don't blame the actual abuser. People will not look at the person who is doing harm, and they'll look at the people who has been harmed, and they'll be like, "But you should have done better. You should have escaped somehow. You should have handled this better," when actually we should be looking at the other person. So that's what that is also what a lot of people tend to do with Cinderella. And again, it's very annoying. She also gets a very bad rap because of what I've just explained, also compared to all of the other Disney princesses. Like, for example, Snow White. Snow White was quite similar to Cinderella, where they were kind of scullery maids in a while. But Snow White wished to get married with one song, "I have but one song, only for you." When she's picking flowers in the field, when she first met her prince, when she was singing "I'm Wishing." And then she also sung a song called "Someday My Prince Will Come." So Snow White was actually the first Disney princess in general, but she was also the Disney princess who embodied the "I need to be saved by a man, I need a prince to come save me and rescue me," because she sung it in many music videos where she specifically said, "One day my prince will come." Where Cinderella didn't sing that. She just said, basically, in her two main songs, that "I want to be saved. I want to move away from this abusive situation, but not by a prince, just any way that she can." And if you were in her situation, if I was in her situation, if everyone was in her situation, you would think very similarly. Oh, and I've also just thought, not just Snow White, but if you think about it, Princess Ariel from The Little Mermaid, she was so, like, infatuated with her love for Prince Eric that she was like, "Screw you, mermaid family, I'm going to become human and possibly never see you again, all because of this man." Like, if anyone out of all of the princesses are the most head over heels for a prince, I would say it's probably Ariel. So, yeah, but she probably won't get as much hate for that because she's not old-fashioned and Cinderella is. Another kind of side note that I want to talk about is Cinderella's dress. So this has always kind of annoyed me because I love Cinderella so much. All of the people that copy a live action or a cartoon that was after Disney, so 1950, when they think about Cinderella's dress and Cinderella's looks, they try to copy Disney, which is how it mostly goes, because Disney classics are old. They always get Cinderella's dress wrong, and it's always really annoying. Whenever you see Cinderella's dress in modern mainstream media, it's always blue, but it's not blue. It's shimmering, sparkling silver. When the dress is being created by the fairy godmother, you can see the sparkle effect before the dress is even made, and then the sparkles turn into the dress, and then the dress has sparkles on them, and it's silver. There's only a couple of scenes in the film where it looks like the dress is blue, but that's when it's in the dark. So when darkness is on it, that's the only time when it's ever blue. But whenever it's in a normal lighting, it's quite clearly sparkling silver. And again, it's always really annoyed me because they get it wrong. It's like people just get Cinderella's personality, story, and ending so wrong. Yes, she had a happy ending, but she didn't need to be rescued by a prince. She had a happy ending because she escaped her abuse. I think that a lot of people mistake Cinderella's personality and say that she's weak as well. And I personally, again, think that that is very wrong. And it's just, it all comes from hating old classic nature. You know, women very much acted like that in the 50s and onwards. They were very sweet, kind, and petite and submissive. But in Cinderella's case, it was 10 times as bad because she was in an abusive situation. So there was nothing that she could do, even though it was her house. Like, she had to do everything that her stepmom and stepsisters said, and she couldn't escape because it was back in a time where women had no power, kids had no power. So it was either possibly be in a worse situation than what you're in, or have somewhat have warmth and be sheltered from the rain but be abused. And something that people don't think about when they think about Cinderella's situation is the fact that she is abused, and I keep mentioning it, but it's true. And to me personally, if you are in an abusive situation, but you always are nice, gentle, and genuine, and always remain lovely, like Cinderella is, that's a big part of her personality. To me, that's not weakness, that's showing a form of strength within a time that is hard. So, there's nothing much that I can really think of to say. I feel like I've ranted for too long and I've said everything I need to say. Like I say, I don't expect this to be at any time, even in like 5, 10 years, for this to be popular, because it's just something that I wanted to talk about, something that I wanted to rant over, because it's something I've been thinking about for ages. So basically, people that don't really know about Cinderella, but their opinions of her are wrong. She's not weak, she is strong. Her dress isn't blue, it's sparkling silver. And she never gets saved by a prince, she gets saved by an abusive relationship. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, or if you like or dislike Cinderella, leave a comment down below and we can chat about it. Or my socials will be down below, my 2 Twitters, and my second YouTube channel where I react to albums that I've got and I've give recommendations about them. Like I say, if you liked it, comment and give it a like, and see you guys.